AI has crossed a technical threshold. Autonomous agents have moved beyond the confines of the chat window, executing commands directly across local operating systems. Open-source frameworks like OpenClaw function as an autonomous operating system for personal AI. They grant agents direct shell execution capabilities, full file system access, and the ability to control web browsers via the Chrome DevTools protocol. Granting an AI unconstrained local access creates massive corporate liability. Without a built-in security model, these agents remain vulnerable to zero-click exploits and remote code execution that bypass traditional IT guardrails. This immediate threat to the enterprise prompted NVIDIA to intervene with the Nemo Agent Toolkit and NemoClaw. NemoClaw addresses this accountability vacuum by installing OpenShell, an isolated, secure middleware sandbox. It enforces policy-based security, dictates network routing, and ensures sensitive data never leaves the local machine. Sandboxing secures the local hardware, but it fails to address what happens when that agent leaves its local environment to interact with the external web. 50 million autonomous agents are poised to enter the global economy. Facilitating agent-to-agent commerce requires a universal namespace, a standardized way for these systems to locate and verify each other. The current industry frontrunner is Unstoppable Domains, which is preparing a 2026 application to ICANN for the .agent top-level domain. Their proposed architecture is a Web3 model built on decentralized ownership. Anyone with a crypto wallet can anonymously purchase and permanently hold a .agent domain. This illustrates a flaw known as accountability diffusion. When an agent executes a transaction through this Web3 resolver, the trail terminates in an anonymous cryptographic wallet. The action cannot be legally traced back to a verified human or corporate sponsor. A permissionless, pseudonymous structure scales this problem. Malicious actors can deploy thousands of identical requests, using the decentralized network to mask the origin point of a coordinated attack. Deploying high-stakes enterprise AI on an unverified Web3 namespace is a catastrophic security vulnerability by design. To find a viable framework for autonomous agents, we must look toward the highly regulated sectors of the existing internet. The legacy financial sector utilizes a restricted association top-level domain. The defining operational examples are FTLD registry services, which manages .bank, and the AICPA, which manages .cpa. Unlike standard .com extensions, these registries are owned, operated, and unilaterally governed by consortiums of verified industry professionals. This flowchart maps the FTLD verification process. To register a .bank domain, applicants pass an organization entity verification, validated by government regulators. Agents conduct telephone confirmations to authorize registration. Finally, the registry enforces strict technical compliance, including DNSSEC and TLS encryption, preventing malicious redirection. Moving security enforcement from the fragmented application layer to the centralized registry layer is the only viable architecture for a zero-trust agent identity. To secure autonomous systems, enterprise architecture must translate financial Know Your Customer compliance into a framework called Know Your Agent, or KYA. Pillar 1 is cryptographic proof of origin, binding the agent to its training model. Pillar 2 is attribution mapping, linking back to a liable corporate principle. Pillars 3 and 4 mandate ethics alignment and operational limits. Pillar 5 requires annual recertification, revoking access for noncompliance. A rigorous KYA protocol ensures that every action taken by an AI on the public internet carries mathematical certainty and legal accountability. Traditional identity and access management systems break down when attempting to authenticate millions of autonomous, multi-agent interactions occurring simultaneously. The scalable solution involves decentralized identifiers, or DIDs. DIDs are globally unique, cryptographically verifiable identifiers that do not require a centralized registry to resolve. The governing Agentic association issues a verifiable credential to an approved agent, cryptographically binding its identity to the association's public key. To execute a contract, the agent presents a verifiable presentation. The receiving system instantly checks the signature against the secure DNS verifiable data registry. This exchange utilizes Selective Disclosure JSON Web Tokens, or SDJWTs. They allow the agent to prove specific authorizations, such as the ability to transact up to $5,000, without revealing its internal operational parameters. SDJW teams are a cryptographic format that allows for the selective disclosure of individual claims within a signed token. Combining verifiable credentials with a restricted top-level domain replaces algorithmic guesswork with deterministic trust at the infrastructure level. This map contrasts the chaotic, spoof-vulnerable open web with a fortified trust layer, the infrastructure agent's namespace, or .ia. This namespace would be managed by a neutral agentic identity association. Open interoperability protocols, like the Model Context Protocol, ensure that agents can function technically, but they are insufficient for establishing enterprise-grade trust. Adoption will be driven by emerging regulatory frameworks, such as PSD3 in European finance, which dictates how digital payments and open banking are secured. Fortune 500 legal departments and global banks require a verified namespace before accepting agent-initiated transactions. Liability, not technical capability, will drive enterprise AI adoption. The ICANN new top-level domain application window opens in 2026. This is the critical battleground for the future of internet infrastructure. Establishing a community TLD bid backed by a nonprofit association is the only strategic maneuver capable of bypassing big tech vendor lock-in and Web3 anarchy. CISOs and architects must evaluate their 90-day roadmaps. You must define your legal liability chains and your decentralized identifier integration strategy now. Allowing autonomous commercial agents to scale before securing the foundational identity layer poses a severe systemic risk to the global economy. Securing the agentic internet is an infrastructure governance mandate that must be solved today.